February 19th, 2013. Downtown Los Angeles. A hotel worker climbs to the roof of the Cecil Hotel. The water isn't working. Guests say it smells strange. Tastes even worse. Then he opens the metal lid of the water tank and he sees her. A girl, naked, floating, dead. Her name is Elisa Lam. She was just 21. She was on a solo trip to California. But now she's cold, still, and no one knows how she got there. There were no bruises, no signs of a fight, just one creepy video. Her in the hotel elevator, moving like she's hiding, talking to someone we can't see. Was it murder? Was she running from someone or something? This is not a horror movie. It really happened. Subscribe to Unbelievably True Story and stay to the very end because this story will haunt you. The sun was bright over the city that never sleeps. Palm trees waved gently. Horns honked. Life moved fast. No one knew a storm was coming. Elisa Lam stepped off a bus that morning. She was 21. Just a young woman traveling alone. She smiled to herself as she looked around. Los Angeles. Her dream city. She checked into a tall old building on Main Street, the Cecil Hotel. It was cheap. She didn't know its story. Most people didn't. She rolled her suitcase in. Quiet. Polite. The front desk gave her a key. Room 506B. At first, Elisa shared the room with strangers, other young women. But something wasn't right. The others complained. She's acting strange, they said. She moved out. Got her own room. Alone. Elisa was from Canada, born in Vancouver. She was a student at the University of British Columbia. But she was taking time off. She wanted to see the world. She wanted to write. To feel free. She wrote everything down. On her Tumblr blog, she shared thoughts, quotes, dreams. She told the internet, "My journey is about discovering myself." She had struggled for years with bipolar disorder and depression. But she was taking medication. She was hopeful. Elisa had planned this trip carefully. She'd already visited San Diego and posted photos from the zoo. She bought books and trinkets. She told her parents she was safe. She promised to call them every day. And she did, until January 31st. That morning, her parents waited by the phone. No call came. They called the hotel. No answer. They called the police. They got on a flight. Something was wrong. Deep in their hearts, they already knew. The LAPD began a search. They interviewed staff, guests, and strangers. They passed out flyers. One said, "Missing, Elisa Lam, 21, 5'4" inches, 115 pounds. Last seen January 31st at the Cecil Hotel. Officers walked the halls. Dogs sniffed every floor. Nothing. Security cameras were pulled. Tapes watched for hours. Then they saw it. The elevator video. Elisa enters the hotel elevator. She's alone, wearing a red hoodie and black shorts. She presses several buttons. The door doesn't close. She steps to the side, peeks out, looks both ways. Like someone's following her. She jumps back in, hides in the corner, then steps out again. She waves her hands, moves strangely. Her fingers dance like she's casting a spell or swimming in air. She steps in, then out, then walks away. The door finally closes. The screen turns black. The LAPD released the video on February 14th, 2013. It went viral in hours. Millions watched. Millions asked, who was she hiding from? Why did the elevator stay open so long? Is someone edited out of the footage? People said she looked scared, possessed, confused, lost. The internet exploded. Some called it a ghost video. Others blamed a stalker. Some believed she was hallucinating, but no one had answers. Where was Elisa Lam? Back at the Cecil, guests began to complain. The water wasn't working right. It's black, one said. "It smells funny," another whispered. "It tastes off," said a third. Maintenance was called. Staff climbed to the roof, up the back stairs, past a locked door. At the top, 4 giant water tanks. One worker walked over, lifted the metal lid, and screamed. February 19th, 2013, 10 a.m., roof of the Cecil Hotel. The morning was quiet. The air was still. Santiago Lopez, a maintenance worker, climbed the stairs slowly. He had been called up. The hotel guests were complaining. Again. The water was dark, thick. Some said it smelled like sewage. Some said it tasted like metal. Santiago reached the locked rooftop door. Only staff had the key. There was also an alarm. It hadn't gone off. Strange. He stepped out onto the cold, grey roof. The wind was sharp. There they stood, 4 tall, round water tanks, holding the water for the entire hotel. He walked to the furthest tank. Something felt wrong. He climbed the side ladder, gripped the handle, lifted the heavy metal lid, and stopped breathing. There she was, floating, still, pale. Elisa Lam, naked, dead. In the tank, her clothes were at the bottom. Her body had been in the water for 19 days. Santiago called for help, screamed. Police rushed in. Cameras rolled. News broke. Elisa Lam found dead in water tank at Cecil Hotel. The city was shaken. So was the world. Who put her there? How did no one see her? How did she even get up here? The tank was huge, 8 feet tall, hard to climb. The hatch was heavy. Elisa was not strong, and she was alone. No ladder inside. She would have had to. 1. Enter a locked door. 2. Cross the roof. 3. Climb a tank. 4. Open the lid. 5. Jump in. 6. Pull the lid shut from inside. It didn't make sense, and now the horror deepened. For over 2 weeks, hotel guests drank from that water, brushed their teeth, took showers, cooked food with her body in the tank. Some felt sick. Some felt dirty. Others checked out and never came back. One woman sobbed on camera. "I drank her. We all drank her." The police sealed the roof. They pulled Elisa's body out. The autopsy began. But answers did not come. Elisa had no visible injuries, no bruises, no cuts. No signs of a struggle. Toxicology tests showed no alcohol. No illegal drugs. Only her prescription meds, and not all of them. She had skipped some pills. The coroner wrote, "Cause of death, accidental drowning, contributing factor bipolar disorder." But the internet said, "No, no way!" Theories exploded. Was she chased? Was she murdered? Was it suicide? Was it something else? Before we dive into the theories, let's go back. Let's talk about the hotel itself, the Cecil, the place Elisa chose to stay. The Cecil Hotel opened in 1927. It was meant to be grand. Marble floors, tall ceilings. It stood tall in the heart of downtown. But the city changed. Poverty grew. Crime spread. The hotel lost its shine. By the 1930s, it had a new name, the Suicide Hotel. The deaths began. Jumpers from high windows, poisonings, slashed wrists, overdoses, murders. A woman threw her baby out a window. A man slit his throat in a bathtub. Room after room, stained with pain. In the 1980s, the hotel housed the Night Stalker, Richard Ramirez. He stayed in room 1402. He killed 13 people in Los Angeles. He came home covered in blood, walked past the front desk. No one stopped him. Another serial killer, Jack Unterweger, lived there too. He strangled 3 women with their bras and wrote poems from his room. Locals believed the hotel was cursed. Some said ghosts walked the halls. Guests reported whispers, cold spots, doors slamming. One man said, You don't sleep there. You survived the night. And this was where Elisa Lam checked in. Room 506B, no clue about its history. Just a young girl chasing the sun. After her death, the hotel faced lawsuits. The Lam family sued for wrongful death. They said hotel security was weak. Doors should have been locked. Cameras should have caught more. The hotel claimed she put herself in danger. The court later ruled no fault. But the damage was done. Online, people kept digging. Bloggers, Redditors, ghost hunters. Everyone wanted to solve it. How did Elisa Lam die? Was it paranormal? Murder? Mental illness? Something no one has ever seen before. February 19th, 2013, news breaks across the world. Elisa Lam, 21, found dead inside a hotel water tank in Los Angeles. She had been missing for nearly 3 weeks. But it wasn't just the death that shocked people. It was the video. The elevator footage. Millions had already seen it online. Some watched it over and over, frame by frame. Every second felt strange. It starts at 8:59 p.m. on January 31st, just hours before Elisa disappears forever. She steps into the hotel elevator. Calm, focused. She presses multiple buttons. Too many. The doors don't close. She peeks out, then hides. She moves like she's being followed. Then her hands start moving in a slow, strange dance. Her fingers twist in the air. Her arms float like she's underwater. She steps in and out. In and out. Then she disappears down the hall. The door closes. People say it doesn't feel real. Some say she was playing a game. Others say she was trying to escape something, someone. Or maybe herself. There were rumors that the video had been edited, slowed down, 1 minute cut out. Why was something or someone removed? A shadow? A second figure. The LAPD never answered. They said the video was raw. But the internet didn't believe it. Let's go back to the autopsy report. The official cause of death. Accidental drowning. No signs of sexual assault. No broken bones. No bruise ends. No signs of being held down. But the toxicology report showed something strange. Yes, Elisa had prescription medications in her blood, but not all of them. She was missing key doses. People began to wonder. What happens when someone with bipolar disorder skips their meds? Doctors say it can cause hallucinations, panic, confusion, delusions, mania. Was Elisa having a psychotic episode? Did she believe something was chasing her? Did she see something no one else could? Some say yes, others say no. Because the details still don't fit. Let's look at the tank again. To reach it, Elisa would have had to 1. Open a locked door with an alarm. 2. Walk onto the roof. 3. Climb a 10-foot ladder. 4. Open a heavy tank lid. 5. Jump into the cold, dark water. 6. Let the lid close behind her. That's hard, even for someone in full control. Almost impossible for someone in crisis. And there's more. Her clothes were off, floating at the bottom. But there were no signs of sexual assault. So why take them off? One theory says, when people are drowning, they sometimes undress. It's called paradoxical undressing. The brain gets confused. Another theory says, someone removed them to hide evidence. The truth? We still don't know. Online theories began to grow like wildfire. Theory 1, the elevator game. Some say Elisa was playing a Korean urban legend called the elevator game. You press the elevator buttons in a specific order. There were rumors online. You must not speak. A man with tattoos. Not look at anyone. A man who posted dark videos. The elevator takes you to another world. But he had an alibi. Some say Elisa was trying to play this game when she died. Some say she got trapped between two dimensions. People believe the hotel knew more than it said. There's no proof. Theory 3. Just guesses. Elisa wasn't alone. Theory 2. A hotel
Some
worker
said
did
someone
it.
was in the elevator with her, off
Some
camera.
say someone who worked at the hotel
Others
had
said
keys,
someone followed her up the
had
stairs,
access to the roof.
but no one was ever
Maybe
caught
they
on
followed
tape.
her.
No fingerprints.
Knew the cameras.
No signs of struggle.
Maybe they used the service
Nothing.
entrance. And then came the darkest theory of all. Theory 4. The Cecil itself did it. Some people believed the hotel was cursed, that something evil lived there, a spirit, a force. They said Elisa's body was taken, not by a man, but by something unseen. People pointed out that her death was just one more horror in a long line, and maybe the hotel wanted more, whatever the truth is. We know this. Elisa Lam left behind a trail of sadness, confusion, and fear. Her family never got a clear answer. Her parents went home to Vancouver with a pain no one should carry. They buried their daughter without knowing why she died. The year is 2013. Elisa Lam's body has been found. The police call it an accident. But the world doesn't believe it. Across the globe, people sit in front of screens, watching, rewinding, zooming in. They pause the elevator footage again and again. But look at her hands. Look at the buttons. Why didn't the doors close? YouTube explodes with videos. Reddit lights up with theories. Twitter fills with threads and rumors. One mystery, one girl, and millions of strangers trying to solve it. These weren't detectives. They were students, nurses, gamers, parents, barristers, normal people who felt one thing. Something wasn't right, and they couldn't stop. A Reddit user created a timeline. Someone else traced every step Elisa took. One person built a map of the entire hotel. Another tracked her last social media posts. They weren't just looking for clues. They were trying to bring her back. But soon, the search got dark. Too dark. They picked a man. A metal musician from Mexico. His stage name, Morbid. He had once stayed at the Cecil Hotel. He had posted a video wearing scary makeup. He sang about death. People thought he killed Elisa, but they were wrong, very wrong. He was in Mexico when she died. He had nothing to do with it. But it was too late. They attacked him online. Thousands of messages, death threats, hate mail. He lost everything. His music, his health, his peace. He tried to end his life. He said, "They turned me into a monster for a murder I didn't commit." The internet meant well, but it went too far. They wanted truth. They caused pain. They tried to solve a case, but forgot it was real. A real girl. A real family. A real tragedy. At the center of it all was the Cecil Hotel, the building that had now become famous for death. Let's go back to its darkest stories. Story 1. The Night Stalker. In the 1980s, Richard Ramirez, a serial killer, lived on the 14th floor. He raped, stabbed, and shot people across Los Angeles, then walked into the Cecil, blood on his clothes, and no one stopped him. Story 2. The Austrian Killer. Jack Unterweger stayed at the hotel in the 1990s. He pretended to be a writer. He strangled 3 sex workers with their own bras, just like he did back home. Story 3. The Woman in the Window. In 1962, a woman jumped from the 9th floor. She landed on a man walking below. Both died. Story 4. The baby in the air shaft. A baby was found dead in the air shaft, thrown, forgotten. There were over 16 recorded deaths in the hotel, and maybe more that were never reported. Some say the building itself was cursed, a magnet for darkness. After Elisa's death, the hotel tried to change. They renamed it Stay on Main, painted the walls, covered the carpets. But the name didn't matter. The past was too loud. Tourists came. Ghost hunters stayed overnight. Podcasts exploded with theories. And then, in 2021, Netflix released a documentary. Crime Scene. The Vanishing at the Cecil Hotel. Millions watched it. They saw how the hotel's darkness mixed with Elisa's story, and how the internet couldn't let it go. The doc showed real police interviews, real elevator blueprints, real pain from Elisa's family. It revealed what many had missed. That Elisa was kind. That she had dreams. That she suffered quietly. She wasn't a ghost. She wasn't a puzzle. She was a person. Her Tumblr account, Nouvelle Nouveau, stayed online for years. Even after her death, posts kept appearing. Fans thought her ghost was writing. But it was just Tumblr's queue system. Posts she had scheduled in advance. Still, it gave people chills. One post read, "You're always haunted by the idea you're wasting your life." Another said, "I'm going out tonight. It'll be great." But she never came home. February 21st, 2013. Elisa Lam's parents returned to Vancouver. But they don't come home with answers. They come home with grief. And questions that won't go away. They want justice. They want the truth. They want to know how their daughter, a bright, caring student, ended up dead in a hotel water tank. In September 2013, the Lam family files a wrongful death lawsuit against the Cecil Hotel. They say, "This should never have happened. The hotel failed to protect her." Their lawyer argues, "The water tanks were unsafe. The rooftop should have been locked. There were no warning signs or barriers." They ask, "How does a 21-year-old woman reach the roof without anyone noticing?" The hotel fights back. Their response, "We are not responsible. She was a guest, not a prisoner. She went up there on her own. They say the doors were locked and alarmed. They argue Elisa climbed out a window or found a fire escape. They claim she was in a mental health crisis, that it was her choice, her accident. But the truth is messy. Even if the rooftop was locked, she still got there. Even if the tanks were sealed, she still got inside. In court, the hotel brings in a maintenance worker. He testifies that the tank lid was open when he found her. But earlier reports said it was closed. So which is it? This single detail matters. If the lid was closed then, someone had to close it after she went in. Someone else was there. Maybe someone killed her. But if it was open, then maybe she went in alone, fell, drowned. No one ever noticed. No one came to save her. The lawsuit drags on. The Lam family stays quiet. They don't give interviews. They just want peace. And answers. In 2015, the court rules in favor of the hotel. Case closed. No compensation. No public apology. No blame. Just silence. For many, this ruling felt wrong. Cold. Empty. Like Elisa's life didn't matter enough. But the world hasn't forgotten her. Her story sparked global change. After her death, the hotel added new locks. Water tanks were sealed. Signs were posted. Other hotels around the world reviewed their safety rules. Elisa's tragedy became a warning. Mental health experts also began using her case to spread awareness. Don't suffer in silence. Talk to someone. There's help. Because many believe Elisa's death was tied to her illness, not evil. And yet, there's something we can't let go of. The questions. Why did the elevator door stay open? Why did the lid seem closed? Why didn't anyone hear her? Was someone else involved? No theory fits perfectly. No explanation feels complete. And so, the mystery remains. This is a true story. Elisa Lam was real. She had friends. She had family. She had dreams. She posted cute pictures of animals. She blogged about books, life, love, and fear. She was struggling, but trying. Like many of us. Today, the Cecil Hotel still stands in Los Angeles. It has changed names again. New owners, new paint, new rules. But the past can't be erased. Tour guides still point to the water tanks. Visitors still ask about the girl from the elevator. Ghost hunters say her spirit never left. But maybe what haunts us most isn't a ghost. Maybe it's the truth we never found. Her voice lives on. What do you believe happened that night? Did Elisa climb into that tank alone? Or was there something more? If real-life mysteries move you, subscribe now to Unbelievably True Story. Because every week we uncover the forgotten. We honor the lost. We tell the stories that others stopped telling. Watch the next story now.